Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The 2025 season was supposed to be different for the Washington Commanders. It was supposed to be the year they finally turned the corner, the year the offense clicked, and the year Terry McLaurin, the heart, the leader, the face of the franchise, reminded the world why he's one of the most respected wide receivers in football. But instead, it's been a cruel twist of fate. A season that started with so much hope has slowly spiraled into uncertainty. And for McLaurin, it's becoming a painful, frustrating journey that no one, least of all him, saw coming. The headlines broke with a sting this week. Terry McLaurin could miss multiple weeks. And suddenly, the Commanders' locker room felt a little quieter, a little emptier, and a lot more uneasy. For years, McLaurin has been the model of consistency, toughness, and quiet excellence. He's the guy who shows up early, does the work, and never complains, no matter how bad things got around him. He's the one who endured the carousel of quarterbacks, the coaching changes, and the chaos that has defined Washington football for far too long. Through it all, he kept showing up, for straight seasons without missing a single game. That's not luck. That's discipline. That's heart. That's the mentality of a player who knows what it means to carry a franchise on his shoulders. And that's why seeing him sidelined again, nursing a stubborn quad injury that just won't heal, feels like a gut punch to every Commanders fan who's ever believed in number 17. It all started innocently enough. After a sluggish couple of games to open the season, games where the offense never quite found its rhythm, McLaurin looked ready to bounce back in week 3. The timing was right, the chemistry was starting to click, and then it happened. One awkward step, one explosive burst off the line of scrimmage, and suddenly, that right quad betrayed him. The pain was sharp, immediate, and undeniable. He tried to fight through it. Of course he did. That's Terry McLaurin. But even warriors have their limits. Trainers rushed out. Fans held their breath. And just like that, the Commanders' most reliable weapon was out. At first, the word from the team was optimistic. No surgery needed. Just rest, rehab, and a little patience. A couple of weeks, maybe. Nothing too serious. But then, week after week, the same line appeared in the injury report. McLaurin, out, quad. It became a cruel rhythm. Fans refreshing Twitter every Friday, hoping for good news, only to see the same disappointing update. The Commanders tried to move on without him, patching the holes with rookies, journeymen, and players who, for all their effort, simply couldn't replicate what McLaurin brings to the field. Because you can't teach his precision. You can't fake his leadership. You can't replace that kind of presence. Then, just as hope seemed to fade, McLaurin made his return. The crowd roared, the energy was back, and for a moment, it felt like everything might turn around. And to his credit, McLaurin looked like himself again, explosive off the line, crisp in his routes, sure-handed as ever. It was the spark Washington desperately needed. But football can be cruel, and sometimes the game just doesn't care about the story you're trying to write. Late in the second half, after a routine cut, McLaurin came up limping. Again, trainers swarmed. The stadium fell silent. The look on his face said it all. He knew. The same quad that had taken weeks to heal had flared up again, undoing all that progress in an instant. Now, the whispers are growing louder. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that McLaurin could miss multiple weeks. That phrase, vague, ominous, frustratingly open-ended, has sent the fan base into a frenzy. What does multiple really mean? 2 weeks? 4? Longer? No one knows. And that uncertainty is the worst part. Because every week McLaurin sits, the Commanders' offense feels a little more toothless, a little more predictable. The team insists it's still week to week, but everyone who's watched this story unfold before knows how it goes. Sometimes week to week is just another way of saying, we're hoping for a miracle. For now, the Commanders will have to find a way forward without him. Deebo Samuel, who's been fighting through his own heel injury, remains the most reliable option. His toughness has been undeniable, even if his explosiveness isn't quite at 100%. Noah Brown is already on injured reserve, so the depth chart looks thin. That leaves rookie Jalen Lane, second-year wideout Luke McCaffrey, and the veteran Chris Moore to carry the load. They've each had flashes, Lane's speed, McCaffrey's route running, Moore's savvy, But flashes don't win games in the NFL. Not when defenses are keying in, daring your young receivers to prove they belong. And that's the deeper tragedy here. Because when McLaurin plays, everyone else gets better. Quarterbacks trust their reads. Offensive coordinators open up the playbook. Defenses can't cheat up on the run. He's not just a receiver. He's a gravitational force, pulling the entire offense into alignment. Without him, everything feels just a little bit off. The rhythm, the spacing, the confidence, it all changes. And for a team that's still trying to find its identity, that's a dangerous thing. What makes it even harder to swallow is that McLaurin was supposed to be the constant in this new era of Commanders football. He signed the extension. He embraced the rebuild. He believed in the vision, even when others didn't. And now, when the team needs him most, his body is betraying him in a way it never has before. There's a cruel irony in that. The man who's always been there suddenly can't be. And for someone as competitive, as driven, and as prideful as McLaurin, that's got to cut deep. In moments like this, you start to see the human side of the sport. The cameras show him on the sideline, helmet off, staring out at the field with that faraway look. You can almost see the thoughts running through his head. Could I have done something different? Is this the beginning of the end? It's the kind of quiet pain that doesn't make the highlight reel, but lingers long after the final whistle. McLaurin isn't just fighting an injury. He's fighting the creeping doubt that every athlete faces when their body starts to fail them, even just a little. And yet, if there's anyone who can come back stronger, it's him. This is Terry McLaurin we're talking about. The guy who came into the league as a third-round pick and turned himself into one of the most respected receivers in football. The guy who never complained when his quarterbacks couldn't find him, who never quit when the team was losing, who kept grinding when no one was watching. He's the definition of a professional. And while the road back may be long, no one doubts he'll walk it with the same quiet determination that's defined his entire career. For now, though, the Commanders are left to navigate the storm. The offense will keep trying to adapt, to find ways to move the chains without their leader. The fans will keep holding their breath, scanning every injury update for a glimmer of hope. And McLaurin will keep fighting, one rehab session at a time, chasing the version of himself that refuses to stay down. Because that's who he is. Football is a game of moments, some triumphant, some cruel. And right now, Terry McLaurin is living one of the cruel ones. But if history has taught us anything, it's that the great ones find a way back. They turn pain into purpose, frustration into fuel. So when McLaurin finally does step back onto that field, when he lines up on the outside and the crowd rises to its feet, it won't just be another game. It'll be a reminder of resilience, of heart, of what it means to keep believing even when the odds turn against you. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The NFL world is absolutely buzzing tonight after reports emerged that Chris Olave, one of the league's brightest young wide receivers, is reportedly on his way to the Washington Commanders. And if these rumors are true, this could be one of the most explosive trades of the season. Sources inside the league are hinting that the discussions have been going on for weeks, but only now is the deal apparently coming together, sending shockwaves through every corner of the NFL. Imagine the kind of firepower the Commanders could have if Olave actually lands in Washington. The mere thought of him lining up opposite Terry McLaurin, adding another elite target for a quarterback already hungry to prove himself, has fans and analysts alike speculating about the potential immediate impact on the NFC East standings. The whispers started quietly, just a hint of movement here and there. But as the story developed, it became clear that the league might be on the verge of a seismic shift. Social media exploded with fan reactions almost instantly after the news broke, with hashtags trending and mock jerseys being designed faster than you can say trade deadline. Everyone wants to weigh in. Everyone wants to have a take on what this means not just for Washington, but for the entire league. For those who haven't been following Olave's career closely, let me set the stage. This young receiver out of Ohio State has been a revelation from day one. Known for his crisp route running, lightning-fast release off the line, and an uncanny ability to make contested catches look routine, Olave has consistently proven that he can change a game in a single play. There have been whispers around the league that he was unhappy with his current team's offensive direction, or maybe he just craves a bigger spotlight, a team ready to go all in on a championship window. If Washington manages to pull this off, it's the kind of statement that tells the rest of the league, we are here to compete, we are serious, and we're not afraid to shake things up to get the talent we need. Rumors from insiders suggest that multiple teams were circling Olave, but the Commanders' front office may have convinced him with a combination of immediate opportunity, a strong quarterback connection, and, of course, a package that included draft capital or other assets that made his current team sit up and take notice. The deal itself, while not yet fully finalized in public records, is reportedly massive, a word that insiders are not throwing around lightly. The potential implications for the Commanders' offense are enormous. Adding a player of Olave's caliber doesn't just give them another weapon. It fundamentally changes how defenses will have to approach every game. Opposing coordinators will have to adjust coverages, rethink blitz packages, and maybe even alter their whole defensive philosophy just to account for the speed, precision, and playmaking ability Olave brings to the field. For a team that has struggled with consistency at wide receiver in recent seasons, this is exactly the kind of shakeup that can reignite fan enthusiasm and spark a real offensive renaissance. Imagine the film room sessions right now in Washington. Coaches and coordinators probably circling plays, drawing up new routes, envisioning how to best utilize Olave's unique skill set, and wondering how quickly the team can gel around him. The chemistry with the quarterback, whoever is under center, will be crucial. Sources are hinting that Olave has already spoken to several players in the locker room and has expressed excitement about the opportunity to be a centerpiece of the offense. Meanwhile, the ripple effects across the NFL cannot be overstated. Other teams in the NFC, particularly divisional rivals, are reportedly scrambling to assess how this potential trade changes their own strategic planning. Rival fan bases are sending out a mixture of panic, disbelief, and begrudging respect for the Commanders' front office. Analysts on TV panels are theorizing endlessly about whether this is just the beginning for Washington, or if it's a one-off move designed to shake up the perception of the team heading into the latter part of the season. The timing of the trade, if confirmed, is also fascinating. There are whispers that negotiations were intensified after key games earlier in the season, where it became painfully clear that the Commanders needed a reliable playmaker to elevate their offensive scheme. Some are saying the trade could include multiple draft picks, possibly even future considerations, and a combination of players that would make any GM sit back and nod knowingly. This is the kind of deal that doesn't just happen. It's meticulously crafted behind closed doors, with multiple contingencies and negotiations stretching over weeks. From the fan perspective, excitement is off the charts. Social media posts are filled with speculative highlight reels of Olave, combined with Commanders jerseys, memes, and passionate debates about how soon we'll see him make a difference on the field. There are discussions about whether he can step into a leadership role immediately, or if it will take some time to adjust to the new playbook and teammates. Yet, one thing is clear. His presence alone changes the narrative around the team. Washington fans who have been quietly optimistic for years are now feeling a surge of anticipation they haven't experienced in some time. Could this be the piece that finally pushes the Commanders into playoff contention? Or even further? Analysts are split, but the general consensus is that Olave's addition would instantly elevate the team's ceiling. On the flip side, there's plenty of intrigue surrounding Olave's current team. How they will respond to losing such a talented receiver is another storyline entirely. There's talk of replacement strategies, potential countermoves in free agency, and even draft day maneuvers to ensure they don't fall behind. The league is watching closely, because a trade like this has consequences far beyond just one roster. It influences how other GMs approach the market, who they consider untouchable, and what they deem acceptable compensation for star talent. NFL insiders are hinting at an unusually high level of secrecy around the final details, which only fuels more speculation. Some are even suggesting that additional players could be involved in the trade at a later stage, creating a domino effect that might reshape multiple rosters before the deadline closes. Of course, skepticism abounds, because nothing is ever truly confirmed until the league issues official statements. But when ESPN, a source many consider as close to the pulse of the NFL as you can get, throws its weight behind a report, the chatter becomes almost impossible to ignore. Fans, commentators, and casual observers alike are glued to every update, every tweet, every snippet of insider information that could hint at the finalization of this blockbuster deal. The story is developing so quickly that by the time you hear this, new details could already be emerging, changing the landscape yet again. The narrative around Chris Olave and the Washington Commanders is one of urgency, excitement, and undeniable intrigue. We're witnessing what could be a turning point, not just for a single player or a single team, but for the dynamics of the NFC and potentially the entire league. The speculation doesn't stop at on-field performance, either. There are already conversations about marketing impact, ticket sales, and the renewed energy in the stadium. The mere possibility of Olave suiting up for Washington has sponsors, advertisers, and even local media buzzing about the potential revenue boost and fan engagement. It's a reminder that in the NFL, trades aren't just sports moves. They're cultural moments that ripple far beyond the field, affecting everything from social media trends to local economies. Imagine the first game Olave steps onto FedEx Field. Tickets could sell out faster than ever, merchandise flying off shelves, and the excitement palpable in every corner of the stadium. The Commanders organization could be looking at a significant boost in visibility and relevance overnight, all thanks to this one strategic acquisition. As the rumor mill churns, one thing is certain: the NFL world is watching with bated breath. Chris Olave to the Washington Commanders isn't just a transaction. It's a potential game-changer, a headline grabber, and the kind of story that keeps fans talking long after the initial buzz. While official confirmation is still pending, the sheer scope of what this deal represents, athletically, financially, and culturally, cannot be overstated. Every angle, every consequence, every ripple effect is being dissected, debated, and discussed, and this could very well be remembered as one of the defining moments of the season. Whether you're a diehard fan, an analyst, or someone who just loves the drama of the NFL, this is the kind of story that makes you stop, pay attention, and realize that the league is as unpredictable as ever. Keep your eyes peeled, because if this rumor turns into reality, the Commanders may have just made a statement that echoes for years to come. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.